Good evening everyone, welcome back to another stream. It's a Good Friday. I hope you're all doing well out there. Nice to see you. If you can detect a little bit of in my voice, I'm just getting over a cold. Who knows where that came from. I was on a plane last week. I went to the O2 at the weekend, so I'm lots of super spreader events. So be grateful you're virtual today and not there in real life. So today I want to make an Arctic roll. I'm going to take one to visit some people tomorrow, so I thought I'd make it tonight for you guys. We'll try a slice at the end. I'm bringing together the recipe from loads of different places. I'm going to start with the ice cream. You can see over there my ice cream machine priming. I'm just going to make the base right now, so that's just chilling down. I'm going to use a Ben & Jerry's base because it's super simple. For any ice cream nerds out there, like my man Polar Ice Creamery, we're not using any stabilizers, we're just using eggs, which I know you're not a fan of, but it's my dinner, I'll do what I want. So I'm going to use an ice cream, very quick base, uncooked, so it's going in raw. That will set. Then we're going to make a sponge, slather it with some jam and roll it up. And if I've got time, I'll make a nice chocolate fudgy sauce afterwards. Depends how I'm feeling, but we will get there. I'm going to get my ice cream mix on. For anybody who is out there in the real world, just checking my streams are working, anybody out there in the real world, is there a really horrible machine noise in the background? That's my ice cream machine doing horrible things. I'm hoping that doesn't come through very well on the microphone itself. I would love to know. But I'm going to get on with my ice cream base. So, a couple of eggs, dead easy. We'll need those again in a minute, so I'll just get those out of the way. I've got egg all over my hand. Let me jostle things around so those of you watching on the little cam. Horrible machine is making machine noises, but it's not too bad. Thank you, GAD Leonard. I debated whether it would be far enough away. It's about 6 feet away from me. I was hoping it wouldn't come across on camera. I might move it around in a minute once it's running, and we've got the stuff in there. It was hard to test. Anyway, good evening. Thank you for confirming that for me. That's a real big help. I keep mine in the garage, so that it doesn't make a load of noise. But it still makes the noise, I just can't hear it. So it stays out there where I can't hear it, it just churns away. So it's usually not a problem. I had this wacky idea. I might push it slightly further away. I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference to us. But let's get the base on so it's on for as little time as possible. So I'm going to need 177 of sugar. Now this is an imperial recipe that I've converted to grams, and it works absolutely every time for me. GAD Leonard, excuse me, have I seen you around before? I don't recognise your name. You have a little badge as well, that's very cool. I can't quite make out what it is on my screen, but it's very nice. Does it tell me here? No. Anyway, 177 sugar. I haven't streamed in a couple of weeks because I've been on holiday. There's been stuff going on. 237 milk. Spot on. And then we top it off. 474 cream. .476 cream. I hope you'll forgive me. Let's pop these in the fridge. GAD D. Leonard. Not a stream before, but I've been watching your vids for a few weeks. Well, thank you for joining. Thanks for joining us on for what is me a Friday evening. Whereabouts are you in the world? Are you in the UK or are you somewhere else? I'm just going to add a spot of vanilla to this. Just to make life interesting. That extremely precise amount. Done some recipes so far? Oh, good to know what you've tried. So if we're worried about that machine making noise, this is going to make a load of noise, but only for a few seconds. I just want to whiz everything together so that it's like a custard. So I might even be nice and mute it. Hang on. There we go, muted. Londoner born and bred. Well, lovely to have you in. I'm in London very often. I'm in Essex, but I work in London. So let's pop this in the machine, and I will then attempt to move it away. I'll tell you what, I'm going to mute it again, so because I'm going to go right next to the machine, and I'm going to push it away so we get as quiet as possible. There we go, I've moved it away a fair bit. Hopefully a little bit quieter. It's a little bit quieter for me, but it's like 2 and a bit meters away now. Just get that out of the way. Right, ice cream is on. That's the bit I just wanted to get out of the way. And now we're going to make a sponge mix. Make for an Arctic roll. Does your ice cream machine have a seal of vodka/alcohol between the inner and outer bowls? Mine does, but it's quite an old one. If it does, it's the first I've heard of it. It's the Sage / well, you're from London, so you'll call it Sage. Smart Scoop is what it's called. I don't believe it possibly has alcohol. I thought I would have. I've owned mine for 10 years, I want to say. Lucky enough to have got mine from Sage themselves. They sent me a copy. So I would hope I would have figured that out by now. Mr. Garrett! Excellent. Guys, if you do not know Adam Garrett, an excellent YouTuber of fine repose, extremely helpful to me getting started, does excellent recipes. I recommend you go follow him. Good family-friendly fare, and not afraid of speaking his mind either. Good to see you, Adam. Hope you're doing well this evening. If you didn't see already, mate, we're doing Arctic rolls. I've done the ice cream part. I'm now going to knock up a sponge for that. Right. Eggs and sugar. Ba, 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 ba. 3 eggs. Adam, you take what you're given and you like it, my friend. Adam, I haven't seen you live in a long time. Not sure if you're going to grace us with your live presence anytime soon. And I need 100 grams of sugar. Brent Hutchins comes in and says, I'm late to the chat. Not that late. We've only been going a few minutes. Hello, Mr. Glad to see another fine live tune. Hutchins again. Love your calm but entertaining vids. Doesn't sound like me, but thank you for the compliment anyway. Anyway, 100 sugar. Bosh, 100 of sugar. And we're just going to whisk that up. Move it off the scales for a minute. So we've got J.D. Leonard from London, Adam from the Midlands, Brent Hutchins. Whereabouts in the world are you, my friend? Are you in the UK? Are you somewhere else? What are we eating today? Whether it's breakfast time for you, whether you've just had your dinner, whether you've ordered it a takeaway, whether you're just not feeling it, you're not hungry today. What have you been eating today? Always good to know what people are eating around the world. Just clicking around a few buttons, guys. Just check everything's working as it should be. Excellent. Good, 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 good. Adam, you've got all your other projects up and running. You'll do more lives. Your problem is you're good at procrastination. Aren't we all? I've got a project, a video project that's been in edit for about 2 weeks. It's not difficult. I just haven't knuckled down and done it. Ah, dear. And Mr. Hutchins, calm and entertaining is the way, Mr. Lowell. And I'm in the States, I'm in New York, right next to Canada, Malone in New York. Now, I know New York pretty well. I've been to Manhattan a couple of times. This guy here is from Glens Falls, New York. There's a bit of trivia for you. But I don't know Malone. So is Malone right on the board, right up on the border? Now, I'm using a Jamie Oliver. Sorry for those who don't like him, but it's a great recipe for Arctic roll. And he says you can use a machine if you want to, but I'm already poisoning you guys with enough noisy machines. Again, if you missed it at the top, I've got an ice cream machine just over there making a load of noise. That one there. I had this crazy idea to do an ice cream cam, which is what that is there. Just, it's on the ice cream the whole time. I thought it'd be funny. Just felt like doing it, really. So, can I call you Leonard? GAD is sort of a bit of a mouthful. Made Ottolenghi's chicken, I just missed it. Chicken with orange and fennel. I don't know that one. I haven't made Ottolenghi in ages. Like 10 years ago when his recipes were all the rage, I was making them and I just stopped. No reason. It's great recipes. Adam asked if this is the Rode Wireless Go 2, talking boring, nerdy YouTube stuff. Yes, it is the Wireless Go 2. You've got the Wireless Go 1. I've got nothing to compare it to. I mean, you're hearing it now. I will add, I've got a slight cold, so you're not getting my full range of vibrato and dulcet tones. I think this is foamy enough, but I'm just stirring now. But it's excellent, you know. It does backup, does all sorts of things. Just got to wash my hands. Yeah, it's a great little device. Adam, to talk baseball for a moment, Kristen, Baker Across Europe, she also has one, so we should check in with her over on the Discord. Brent, 6 hours away from Manhattan. It baffles my mind, the size of the states. If you drove here for 6 hours, you would get to Scotland, and then you've probably got another 2-3 hours till you hit the top of the UK. It's mad, the size of these states. 6 hours from Manhattan, and yes, right up by the border. Glens Falls, about 2 hours 45 away from you. Fascinating, fascinating. Right, we've got nice foamy egg yolks here. What are we adding in now? Add some flour. About 75 grams. One thing I didn't get out. Zero up my scales. Lighting's not quite right today. This bowl is also playing havoc with reflections on my face. This is a tiny amount of flour. But what you want, again, for those of you who don't know, and I'm thinking people like Brent might not have heard of it, the Arctic roll is a retro classic in the UK, right? You've probably got variations of it, right? Which is where you've got ice cream wrapped in sponge. And it became a staple of the 60s and 70s households because it was suddenly really cool, literally, for these, let's be blunt, housewives to pull out a frozen dessert and stun the neighbours. So as with everything that's amazing, it gets run into the ground and eventually it gets cheaper and cheaper and nastier and nastier. And I'm pretty sure if you go into a discount UK shop, like an Iceland or something like that, you're going to find a very budget Arctic roll that's thinner than paper with nasty cheap ice cream. Gordon Ramsay, good to see you again, my friend. You're asking what's going on here. We're making an Arctic roll. That is ice cream up there, wrapped in sponge. So this sponge has got to go in the oven toot sweet so that it can cook, but then it can cool. Daniel E, another New Yorker. Good to see you back. Hello, hello. Hope you're having a good, where are you? Mid-afternoon, about 3:30 in the afternoon where you're. Another New Yorker, I know. Adam Garrett used to have Arctic roll round your nans. Exactly. And I'm guessing, Adam, from your vintage, your nan was exactly the right generation to suddenly, ta-da, here's an Arctic roll and impress all her guests. Because she was swanky enough to own a freezer in like the 60s. Okay, got a nice ribbony batter here that's hopefully going to set into a very bouncy sponge because we want to roll it. Okay, it's not setting like a cake, it's got to hold stuff. We're going to roll it around. Tinned salmon sandwiches and poor man's pickle. Well, Adam, you know you've got to elaborate on whatever poor man's pickle is. So yeah, evening. Leonard, you've only had the ones from a shop. This one is from Jamie's Great Britain. I have made it before, maybe not for 10 years, long time, and it worked great then. I'm just simplifying it a touch for what we're doing. Brent, the UK is somewhere my wife and I want to visit. It's beautiful, not wrong. Such a fan of food, trying to try some food not from America. Well, thank you, Brent. That warms my heart for you to say, oh, I want to try some stuff that's from the UK. You know, for years we've obviously battled that reputation of not great food. Adam also in the chat will talk about sticking up for British food. We had a terrible post-war, post-rationing period which lasted till 1954, I think, something like that. And it just suffered our entire reputation. Excuse me a minute. What food would you be interested in trying? Be good to know. I can see your message, Ed. I'm just going to double check what I'm doing. Grease a baking tray. Line it and grease that too. Right. Got my favourite shiny baking tray. Probably create havoc with the cameras. But we're going to grease that. With some Marco lube. So Adam says, always a penny on any time of day. My nan was like that. You know, whatever then you went round, 2 in the afternoon, or 8 in the morning. Oh, I've just got my apron on. And poor man's pickle with sliced onions and cucumber and malt vinegar. I'd go for that. I'd definitely go for that. I mean, I think these days we trendily call it quick pickle, wouldn't we? Quick pickle. They probably wouldn't use malt vinegar. No, Leonard, it came like that. This tray came like that. I did not so stupid as to polish it. But it's perfect for sponges, I find. America, we just don't have the healthiest food. UK's better than that. Up for trying anything except octopus or squid. Well, if you stay with the seafood theme, we've got excellent seafood. I think we have a tradition of not messing with food too much. When we've got really good produce, we try not to mess with it too much. I hear criticism from some corners that we don't season enough because, I mean, it's that we've got great hot produce, so we don't bother adding too much to it, right? But trust me, Brent, Adam Garrett in the chat, go click on his face or Google his name in YouTube. Google his name in YouTube? What kind of phrase is that? Search his name in YouTube. His channel is full of great British classics and more besides, but he does a lot of great British food. Okay, just check I've not missed anything because I'm yakking. Right, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something slightly simpler to what the recipe says. Sue me, Jamie. You'll get over it. Brent says all the states have done is mess with foods. Adam says to Brent, I always say every single culture and country has good food to offer. Absolutely right, Adam. You know, we've got our share of crap, but America's got loads of great foods. Loads of great foods. I mean, you know, whether it comes from Germany or not, you can't beat a great burger, you know? It's a great pick-me-up. Or the things you do with corn. Amazing, amazing. And despite the fact you call them biscuits, those little spongy cakes, not like this, but other sponge, really good stuff. So, this is clearly not enough batter for this tray. I don't like it, so I'm going to maneuver it to a different tray. It said 25 by 35. I reckon that's bigger than that. So I either make more batter. 1 second. I either make more batter yeah, I'm going to make another batch of batter. So I'm keeping that, not getting rid of it. I'm just going to make another batch. Anybody see the timer on my ice cream machine? I can't read it from here. I don't think it's good enough. It says 31 minutes. Woo! Leonard has read that a lot of American bread, so much sugar in it that EU would classify it as cake. I think Subway fell foul of that, didn't they, in Ireland? I think, I'm not spreading a rumour there, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Brent says Adam says, Brent, we boiled up cow stomach to make sausage out of blood. Delicious, but we do some weird stuff. Yeah, in the name of preserving what little food we have and making it go further. Leonard, I've seen your question about any worries about ice cream to cake ratio. Yes, but with sponge, obviously I can just trim it. You know, if I think too much, I just hold it back and I don't use it. But I'd rather have a bit too much sponge and have to cut it away than not enough. And, well, it just won't be enough. I'm also going to use the opportunity to do something different to this sponge. Because I'm just too funky. I'm like George Michael. It's good to have a little click around, make sure everything's behaving itself. There's like 1,000 levels you're supposed to be looking at when you're live, different buttons and bells and whistles. Adam, I didn't hear what you've eaten today. Have you eaten anything good or have you eaten anything bad? Please share that too. My wife and I went out for lunch, like a late lunch. Got there like 3 o'clock. Got to a Turkish restaurant. Absolutely blew out on an ishkender kebab. Lots of lamb. There's yoghurt, tomatoey sauce, bread. Absolutely stuffed. It was great. Come on. Oh, yeah. The difference maker here is we are going to add a big pinch of cocoa powder. So you get kind of a faux chocolate sponge. And we're just going to let that blend through the plain sponge, hopefully. That's what's in my head anyway. Right. Small chance I've overfloured that, but this kind of sponge is really forgiving. If you're making a cake, I shouldn't really be whisking that. If you're making a cake for, like a Victoria sandwich, a proper bake, then you probably should take a bit more care with it. But this sort of bake, where you're going to roll it up, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. As my old history teacher used to say, doesn't matter. Adam, you made pasta alla Gricia. That'll be up Sunday. Oh, okay. I'm not exactly sure I know what pasta... Well, I'm going to say it. I don't know what pasta alla Gricia is. Greek pasta, does that mean? Translated poorly? What does that mean? Pasta with black olives and oregano? I don't know. Feta cheese? Tell me, Adam. Educate the masses. Or me. You can see there we've got more of a chocolatey one. There'll be little puddles of cocoa in there. You know what? I don't care. I'm going to be much happier with that, I can tell already. Right, put that there. Just going to drizzle that across. Cousin of carbonara and cacio e pepe. That sounds really good. Sounds really good. I'm not familiar with it. I think I've read about it, but then I read it and I'm like, so what is it? I'm like, I don't know. So Adam and Leonard, this should feel very retro, like a marble cake, right? Then we roll it up. So I'm hoping we get some when it actually fills this space. If it doesn't, we'll survive. We'll get over it. But I would like it to fill up some space. Right, I think I've got to line this again. Oh no, okay. Let's do this, 15 minutes. Okay, this is now going to go in the oven. So we've got 12 minutes. Should I set a timer? Nah, we'll check at 9 and see where we are. Put some stuff over there. Make a little tidy up. That's got to cook. I don't think our ice cream's going to be far away. Let's go and have a look. Yeah, that's a nice pure vanilla flavour in there. That's nearly there. So Leonard, interesting you say that. Depending on who you ask, carbonaras omit the eggs. I urge you, go and find my friend. His channel is called History Ina Taberna on YouTube, and he did a whole thing on carbonara. Like, he found every recipe possible as far back as he can. He drove the Italians nuts with that video, but all he did was go and do the research of what carbonara is. Yeah, really, really great topic. He was really nervous about doing it as well. He was like, I'm going to wind up a lot of people with this. And he did. Them's the truth. I've gone round the houses on carbonara, back and forth. And I prefer cream to eggs now. It's sacrilege to say it, I know. Now you're probably thinking, Gary, you hungry? No. Remember I had Turkish a couple of hours ago. Whew, blew me out. No, this is going to go in the ice cream. So I've got some crunchy bars and some Maltesers. My friends Brent and Daniel, I'm not sure which of these you have in the United States. This is chocolate covered honeycomb, and this is like extruded malt. That's a technical name. Look, 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 look. So a malted, I've eaten the damn thing. I meant to just break it open. That was clever. Let me get a pot. A nice heavy basher. So you get this malt frozen into little spheres. Very childhood friendly dessert. Adam, you get offended on Italians' behalf about carbonara. I've given up, Adam, if I'm honest. I just like, this is not okay, but I use carbonara as a shorthand for creamy, cheesy pasta now. It's not okay, I know it's not, but how many high street chains have you been to that say carbonara and you think, this hasn't got eggs in? So Maltesers are like Hershey Whoppers. I knew you would have an equivalent, I just didn't know. And what about chocolate covered honeycomb? Does that have a brand name? We would say crunchy in the UK. Crunchy, i.e. like that. So I'm just bashing this up. If I started rabbiting, I'm not sure. So I'm just bashing this up, and then in a minute, my machine is going to go ping, 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 and then it says like add stuff into it. And I'm hoping we can get it to play a tune. My ice cream machine plays a tune when it's finished, but sometimes it seizes before it's finished and it doesn't play it, and I'll be very, very sad. So it doesn't look like a lot. It's not a lot of chocolatey stuff, but it's going to spread through that whole ice cream batch. It's about a litre of ice cream. Don't ask me what that is. What's a litre in Imperial? What's the amount you're going to see? I'm not looking to turn it into complete dust, you know, because I want interesting things. So again, imagine you've got this log of ice cream wrapped in sponge, and as you slice it like a Wellington, right, you're going to get these little bits and bobs of chocolate here and there. Leonard asks, do I prefer streaming or long-form edited videos? Well, as a content creator, I find streaming really easy. I hope you enjoy it. You know, people come back, have chats. which is nice. But I like the ability to tell a story in long form videos, and that's overblowing the phrase. But yes, you can tell a story as in we start somewhere and end somewhere else, right? And that's really interesting and entertaining to do. To watch, I find both interesting. And I'll be honest, I generally watch lives over on Twitch. I just think it's a better experience for the viewer, and there's more things to do. It's more, you can interact a bit easier, which is why I'm multi-stream. So I'm here on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So pick whichever platform you want to watch this on. Adam, if you're still in the audience there, what do you think about Leonard's question? Do you prefer streaming or long-form edited videos? And John Bushnell, nice t-shirt. So you got 3x5 there. You can play a little game with yourself and how many you think you can identify. Obviously I'm moving about, so you know. Try and see how you do. I already said one of them was from Glens Falls, New York. We had that conversation already, but no one picked me up on that. Don't get many guys from Glens Falls, New York. I'm just going to cough. Leonard in particular, I never asked you, I moved the ice cream machine away. Did it make much of a difference? Or am I just like fooling myself with how much better it made life? So we've got all our chocolate stuff ready. That's just bashed up chocolates. Obviously I'm using Crunchies and Maltesers because they are interesting. And something to bite on. You could use whatever you wanted, but I would recommend something with a bit of texture. Adam says, long form edited by far. You hate editing, understand, but it does produce better videos. I like live stream for interaction. Yeah, and to be fair, Adam, they are two different things, right? This doesn't get me anywhere near, frankly, the revenue, nowhere near, that a video does. Unless, we're fortunate enough to get little fan donations, super thanks, super chats down below. Ko-fis, what have you, which is great. And you can generate those a little bit easier on lives. But obviously I'm not fully, I have to pick what I do here on lives. I can't do everything. There's lots of recipes that have like a 6-hour wait in the middle. Can't do that on a live. Well, not with my channel anyway. Just remembering something, hang on. Just getting this out ready for the sponge in a minute. Yeah, I end up being really, I end up being really satisfied with the long video you've finished, right? Comes back nice. Leonard says, the ice cream machine is fine, just buzzing away. Okay, it shouldn't be too much longer. Usually, I don't know how legible the clock is. I'm going to make it full screen for a sec, save me going over there. It's just about readable. That says minus 19 degrees, 46 minutes. 46 minutes usually takes about 50 minutes to finish a batch. So I reckon any second now it will be saying add mixin. It'll add mix-ins. We might hear a ping, ping, ping noise. Let's go and check properly. It's certainly, big and fluffy now. So you can see it's freezing on the edges. I should probably make that bigger, but you'll get by. The dasher is whipping air into it, and it's just all coming together. Adam says I'm making Arctic roll at 9 PM. Well, I'm going to see some friends tomorrow, and I'm going to make a dessert anyway. And I thought, I might as well go live. Because I'm going to make it anyway. I have to be out here by myself making the dessert. Might as well have some company. Say hello to some people while we're here. The sponge is looking good. It's been in 11 minutes. So I'm just going to... I'm going to go and have a look at that, I think. Right, let's go and have a look at it. You can't see this because I don't even have cameras. I mean, I technically do, but I can't be bothered to get another one just to show you my oven. It's right here. So that's really close, and it's more or less filled up the pan now. Excuse me. As I said earlier, I'm just getting over a cough. Excuse me. Len, from the edited videos I've watched, enjoy the experimental ones where you try a few variations. What sort of things do you do about that? You talk about Marco's pepper steak. That's why I tried quite a few ones in there. I have to try a bit of everything, really. Things that interest me, that I think will interest you, the wider audience. You know, it's a trade-off of both. And Adam, again, a creator in the chat, will say the same. You do a little bit for you and a little bit for you guys. You do what you find interesting. You hope a few other people find it interesting too. Adam's got a wonderful community on his channel. Always back and forth with ideas. I think, Adam, when you go live, you don't tend to cook so often. You go, you know, more of a chat, don't you? A bit more of a social, which is another way to do it. I just like having the cooking as a what do you want to call it? A crutch. It's a conversation. The steak and the pan-fried roast chicken. That chicken video just keeps going. It's mad how popular that one is. Right. I'm just thinking through what I'm about to do. You'll see why in just a second. Right, okay, I'm ready. So, Adam, your girlfriend's an editor. Ah, you cheat. You haven't been together that long. She's very good at it. She does stuff for HelloFresh. Very nice. I assume that's like video recipes they have on their site, is it, Adam? I go on HelloFresh occasionally, not as a customer, but just for recipe inspiration. I think, oh, that's a good idea. Let's do that this week. Then she'll know exactly how painful it is splicing together food footage. And as a one-man band, you know, speaking to people like Leonard, there was nothing worse than coming to edit and realising you don't have footage of something. You know, something being poured onto a plate, something being sliced, and you're just like, ugh, I've got to film that bit all over again. Because it's just weird if you don't have that section sometimes. Or sometimes you, like the finishing touch of the what you might call the sexies, like the final shot of the dish. If that's not quite right, it can really ruin the whole presentation. Really does. Annoying. Leonard. So Adam says, I do lives where I just chat to people, have a drink, talk shite. Yes. Yeah, I noticed on yours are much more like lock-ins, basically, you know, just having fun. Leonard, I'll come back to your question in just a minute. I've got to take this out the oven. There's our spongy boy. So, I'm going to get my glove on for the next bit. What-ah! You know what's coming next? Right, it says, peel and discard the top roll of paper. Hey! You were all waiting for that to fail. Don't lie to me, you were waiting for that to fail. And we're going to roll it up, I think, while it's like this. We just leave that to cool. So I can leave this to set, if you like this shape. It's a bit uneven, so I'm just going to do it again. And it's really quite bloody hot. There we go. So I'm just going to pop this behind me. Over there, I think. Get rid of that. Right. Let's come back to the question. So, Leonard, you said, why do I make so much Marco Pierre White content? Or why do you find him so fascinating? So, it's impossible to be into food in any way, and I've been into food for a long time, and not be aware of Marco Pierre White. So, I am aware of Marco Pierre White, but I didn't really know a lot about him. And a couple of years ago, a good friend of the channel, Ben, shared his Maestro video, one of them with me. I was like, oh, this is interesting, and I thought, I could probably repurpose this into a YouTube video. So I started doing stuff around his courses and subscribed, and then just doing more and more. And as I did it, I'll be honest, more and more people started watching my videos. So I'm probably reaching the end of things I can talk about to do with Marco Pierre White. I've exhausted his whole career. Unless he comes out next week with a brand new book and TV series, I'm probably done with all the things. He's got loads of recipes, but I don't have anything fresh to say. But he has a legion of people that will follow his videos as soon as anything new published is about. So that's the main reason I've done it, is because, frankly, people watch it. That's the blunt truth. People watch videos of his that I put up. If I try and go in other directions, it's not quite as popular. But I do need to break away at some point and do other things, because I can't run it forever. So partly it's because he is interesting. He does make good content, but he gives me interesting things to look at as well. Adam says, your girlfriend can work 20-hour days sometimes. She works incredibly hard, is good at it. Yeah, I mean, editing is kind of invisible, right? Good editing. You notice bad editing straight away. Right. I'm going to test my ice cream. So I'm going to make it full screen for you for a second. Nice. Notice how this is filling up here? This starts filling up now very rapidly. Very, very rapidly. It's taking a little bit longer than usual. I don't know if... I just don't have a reason for it. Usually it takes about 45 to 50 minutes. It's probably because I need it to go faster. It's not doing it today. It's probably the reason. I can add these in now, actually. It won't care. It'll just start going slower. Adam says, I'd love a Rick Stein series. I'd watch that. He's my hero. Sorry, I need to switch this back to this, don't I? I've never been enamoured of Rick Stein. I don't know what it is. I get so many people in the comments saying how much they love Rick Stein. And I can see the connection between Marco Pierre White and Rick Stein. A kind of I don't care attitude. A kind of keep it simple, French flavoured stuff. But he's never really done it for me, and I don't know what it is. Maybe that's what I should do. I should just lean into Rick Stein and do it just to learn it, just to learn the topic. Because obviously I'm aware of who he is. I know Padstow and all that kind of stuff, and fish. And he's famously in one of the Keith Floyd series. I did feature that in my Keith Floyd biography many years ago. Yeah. He doesn't interest me the way, say, Heston or Jamie does, which, and I know Jamie in particular is a very polarising figure online, and a bit like Marco, Heston doesn't have anything new going for him right now. But I've said on other streams that there are chefs and people from UK food scene that just don't have like no presence on YouTube, not including reposts of BBC series. And I think Rick Stein is one of them, right? He doesn't really have a lot of people talking about him. I'd really like to go through Delia Smith. I think it's absolute travesty that there's so little content about Delia Smith on YouTube. That people should be talking about just what she revolutionised. You know, Adam and I, we talk about how great British food is. Well, Delia Smith is one of those names that helped us get back up there. Oh my God, Adam with the big questions coming out like Michael Parkinson. Who first inspired you to start cooking? Was it a family member, TV chef? I had a couple of good cooks in my family. My mum was a very good cook. My nan was a very good cook. True for most of us, I'm sure. But, excuse me, I just want to check something. I'm not missing a step from my... So when I give this answer, it's like one of the most untrendy things I can say, right? And I've never heard anybody else give this as a reason as to why they like cooking so much. And for me, because of a certain vintage, it's ready, steady, cook. You see that noise? I'll be back, be back. Yes, sir. Switch camera angles. Watch it all get mixed in now. Churned up by the machine. This usually makes it really hard work. But it'll get through it. And in a minute, it'll stop. See it pulling it down into the goop. So that's just going to finish off. It's going to make a lot more noise as it sort of, as the gears and the work with that. Back to your question, Adam. So when I was at school, secondary school, Ready Steady Cook appeared. I think it was 1990 it first came on, and it was on at 4:30 every day on BBC Two, I want to say. And therefore I would get home from school and I could watch it, and it was on every single day. Monday, I think, might be wrong. In fact, I know someone who was a runner on the show. I should double check with them. If it's not every single day, it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Ready Steady Cook was on, and it was just fascinating to me that they would come up with something. I don't mind if there was TV chicanery in the background. The fact that every single night, your Ainsley Harrietts, your Kevin Woodfords, your Anthony Worrell Thompsons, all the others, every single day bashing out something interesting. You know, something interesting every single show. And I found it fascinating. I didn't cook anything from it, I'll be honest. I just sat there, I absorbed it all in. And by then, I was primed for when Jamie arrived, because I just had all this fascination. I didn't properly cook until I left home at 18. Did a bit of cooking, same as everybody does. But I didn't really get into it until I was 18. Leonard recently purchased Michelle Robert's French Cooking for One. Never heard of her before. Haven't tried a dud recipe yet. Not a name I know. I will Google it afterwards. Thank you for the tip. Adam Garrett says, I was sure it was after school. It's just one of those things. When it's every day, it's like appointment viewing, right? And I'm just a fraction older than you, Adam. I think 4 or 5 years older than you, which makes all the difference. Ice cream machine is struggling. There's too much crunchy in there. I think it's going to stop in a minute. I was hoping it's going to play its beautiful little tune, but I think it's not going to make it. I think it's going to die. It's just going to go, I give up. Sometimes, it just can't go through that quantity of stuff. Oh, I'm going to persist though. I'm going to leave it just another minute. Hopefully, it's right on the very last stage. So the very last stage, I'm hoping it's going to go. It's really struggling. Turn that off a sec. It's making a kind of whirring noise. It's really, I can really hear it labouring. It's given up. It hasn't. So when it's finished, it usually plays like a jaunty ice cream theme. But clearly it's given up today. So let me go and fetch that. Cool. Put that back on for a sec. There you go. Lovely bit of ice cream. There's the spoon I was using earlier. I think it's there. So it's a little soft now. Usually I mean, you absolutely can eat that, but for serving, usually you pop that in the freezer for a couple of hours. But we actually want it a little bit pliant because we want to be able to... Nice. Because we want to be able to put this in the sponge in just a sec. So I'm going to bung this in the freezer. So give me 1 second. I'm going to give you a little bit of music for the 30 seconds it's going to take me to put it in the freezer. Just set it slightly. I'll be right back. Be right with you. Okay, we're back. We do not need the webcam anymore. He's done his job. Hope you're all well. So, we've got a sponge. Still pretty hot, but it's cooling down. I'm just letting my ice cream just go slightly solid so that it stays in a shape, because I'm going to have to work really fast. So, I was just debating getting another recipe out. Because, you know, what a load of sugar needs is a boatload more sugar. So this is one of the most underrated books going. Someone else who needs a lot of conversation about her, Nigella Lawson. Look at this cover with her Motorola flip phone, which just dates it slightly. But the best recipe in this book is this one, for the chocolate peanut butter fudge sundae. And this is for actually making the sundae, but the sauce by itself on the side is incredible, and it's simply just stuff melted together. So I'm just going to melt that, and I'm going to put that on a side, and I'll reheat it tomorrow when I'm going to serve it. So let's get all my goodies out for that. Excuse me. Ba, 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 ba. We're a little short when it comes to cream. I'm just going to top it off with whole milk. It's not the same thing, but it's good enough for what we want to do, which is essentially provide a liquid to let the chocolate melt down in. Leonard, I see your question. Any opinion on the Hairy Bikers? Parents had a few of their books. It's an idiot who doesn't like the Hairy Bikers, right? I think they're pretty universally loved in terms of, excuse me, they were unpretentious, they liked posh food, they liked common food, they were up for anything, just seemed like all-round good guys. I posted a very, very small tribute to Dave Myers when he passed away last year. What a cool guy he seemed like, and a couple of people I know who worked with him just said they're both awesome, absolutely wicked dudes. So yeah, Adam again with the Michael Parkinson impression. What would your death row meal be and why? Funny enough, I was talking to some people recently about, let me just swap this over. You know, they kind of expect someone like me, you know, talks about Mark Pierre White and Heston Blumenthal, yeah, sorry, to be really into fine dining, and it's just not really the kind of food I eat. I just doesn't do it for me. As much as I like to explore food, just getting some peanut butter. Here we go. So, I don't really think I have one, and Adam, you know, you love your food as well, mate, right? So it's not one thing, is it, right? It's however you're feeling. But you can't beat a steak done exceptionally well, right? A really good steak. Well, there used to be a steakhouse near where I live called Chop Block. By the way, this is cream, a little bit of milk, chocolate and peanut butter. Just going to add a squirts of golden syrup, and then we'll be done. Excuse me. I like a steak with a good garlic butter, really crispy French fries, a really well looked after sweet corn. It's a great meal. Sometimes I just all I want is an absolutely perfect pizza, you know? Really tasty cheese. Lovely bit of cured meats on it. Tangy tomato sauce. You know, it's don't make me choose is what I'm saying. You know, a roast dinner, particularly a really good rib of beef. We're back to steak again, basically, aren't we? Rib of beef, excellent potatoes, of course. Yorkshire's, really nice carrots and peas. A stunning gravy. Yeah, amazing. What about yourself? Any of you guys out there, what would your death row meal be? I mean, slightly grim terminology, but I think you understand where we're coming from. No death involved. So all that stuff is just melting away in the background there. Oh, I've got to stop standing that side. Don't need this for a minute. So all that stuff is just melting away. That's the cream, peanut butter, chocolate, a little bit of golden syrup. That's just going to all come together into this ridiculous gooey sauce. So we've got there. Leonard, remember as we said earlier about too much pastry, too much sponge? I think we've got that here. It's not very even. So I'm just going to even that up, that side. It also means I get something to eat. I'm going to move that every so often. So just while we wait, let's add some jam. I've got strawberry here, just boring old Hartley strawberry. Nice and simple, nice and simple. We're just smearing that all over, just so there's a layer of something interesting between the sponge and the ice cream. Leonard says roast goose. I'm now starting to question, have I ever had roast goose? must have had roast goose, but I'm struggling to remember if I have. Now, I would love to substitute that 1 year, but again, near me, I'm going to say is the best turkey producer in the world, Mr. Kelly Bronze, Paul Kelly, the wonderful farmer in Danbury in Essex. I visit him every year. He makes a real big show out of it. I often put it as a short on my YouTube channel, the whole extravaganza he puts. It's one of my Christmas traditions is to go to his farm and pick up my bird. The way he rears his bird means that the cooking times for the turkey are ridiculous. I get a 5 kilo turkey, it cooks in about 90 minutes. Because his birds get very fat, so they're not lean and crappy. Adam says he'll have roast beef with a side of KFC gravy. Oh, a side of KFC, sorry. A side of KFC with gravy, a platter of seafood. Jesus Christ, mate. Roast with a seafood platter. And Liberal it's good to see you, my mate. It's good to have you in. Arctic roll, yeah, we're keeping it retro tonight, mate. Guys, if you're into gaming, go follow Liberalonics over on Twitch. Good pal of mine, very helpful when it came to setting up streaming. Covers loads and loads of games. And sadly, I've got to stop watching him because he's moving his schedule to the evenings when I'm not free. Ooh, so he can support his family. Cool, what a guy, huh? Pesky family, yeah. This is Mrs. Lib's classic. Oh, Libra, tell me why. Does she make her own, or is it one like she buys? So I'm doing a sort of hybrid here, mostly a Jamie Oliver one. So this, you've missed the ice cream. She makes her own. Excellent. We've had the ice cream machine going. That's finished. The ice cream's in the freezer, just firming up a bit. We've made the sponge. We've just added some jam. This is a chocolate sauce made with chocolate and cream and peanut butter and syrup. There is a small chance I've let this cook a tiny bit too much, so it's gone a bit grainy and split, but I can recover it. One of the staples for her class, interesting. So I have been talking to you guys too much and let that one go. So you see all that pock marking? That's where the chocolate has reached too high a temperature and separated out. If I was doing this normally, I'd be sat there like a hawk staring it on a low heat, and because I was talking to you guys, I wasn't. I should have done the microwave method because I was talking. I'm just grinning because the cat wants to go out. Yeah, he's just fighting his way through the door. Excellent. Leonard, I'm not sure how you feel about chocolate and fruit. Prefer to keep them separate. I get that. I understand. A lot of people are like that. That's totally fine. I might be able to bring this back with a bit of vigorous stirring. But I think the oils might have separated out the chocolate. We'll be okay though, because it's so easy to make. I could just make another quick batch in the morning, so I might have to give up on that one. That's okay. It's okay. All these mistakes happen. Mistakes are a lot easier if you're not trying to live stream them at the same time. It's all right. Sorry about the chocolate. It's a shame. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Don't matter. And Adam says, your fault with the pucker. Yes, Adam, it was your fault. Libra, Adam's been in here with like, these really hardcore questions. Asking what my final meal would be, and, you know, did I ever love my mother, and all these sorts of really hardcore questions. No, nothing quite that serious, but, you know, try to keep it light, bro. Bit of boiling water, yeah, you are right. But I've got other stuff to be getting on with. That's why I think a bit of just agitation while the pan's still warm, I think will bring it back together. But I'm not wedded to it. It's a little bit of cream, it's a little bit of peanut butter, it's a little bit of melted chocolate. I want to just have you guys just sit there and watch this come together. Let's get on with the roly bit. Right. I need a dolloper first. Why have I used all my spatulas? Oh, I know why. It's because one broke on me. You can tell I'm concentrating on this bit because I've just stopped talking. I'm just really focusing, trying to get this in place. Pop it over there. If you had Fred the bodyguard, that wouldn't have happened. Who's Fred? I don't know who Fred is. Oh, it's too wet. The ice cream's too wet. We're going to have to wait to freeze that a little bit further. Let's get a fresh pot. Well, in reality, Leonard, you shop bought ice cream, right? And then you take that out of the freezer, but just before it's like eating texture, so you can get it on there, roll it up, and then put it away again. So I'm just transferring it to another tub for freezing. It might be I'll have to leave this a little bit and then post the results later, because I want to make sure that ice cream is set so that it can take it on. There we go. Lost a bit down the side. Well, I'll be eating that in a minute. Right, let's get that in the freezer. Use this spoon here, just to try a bit of that. Nice. Liv, I see what you're saying, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to freeze it so that it sets up properly. It's probably going to take an hour or so. Then take it out, then put it in there. That's what I'm going to do, I think. I have done it before, but I don't think I've done it with, oh, ruined my t-shirt. But I don't think I've done it before with that machine ice cream I've just made. God, what a mess. I made a real mess. So I think there we will leave our Arctic roll, because I want that to set properly. Pull it out, then I'm going to dollop it in, then roll it up. And what I will do is I will post the result on the community page of the YouTube channel, so you can see the result, because I appreciate some of you have sat there through the whole stream of however long it's been. I've missed the timer, it's over there somewhere. And yet you're not seeing the final result. I was hoping that would just firm up enough so that we were ready to use it. Alas, not in this case. But nevertheless, tasty. It's going to be tasty nonetheless. We've got sponge, we've got jam, we've got ice cream, all those chocolatey bits. It's going to be really good fun. So I think I will pause it there whilst my ice cream sets. As I said, I'm going to leave it a good hour so that it's properly set before I redistribute it and roll it up quickly before it notices. Lolla cake. Strap yourselves in. There's going to be a bloodbath. The bloodbath is over, I'm afraid. I mean, I've made quite a mess of my t-shirt because some ice cream hit me. But we need to wait for our ice cream to set a little bit longer. So what I'm going to say is thank you very much for joining. It's been some excellent chat tonight. Leonard, thank you. Good night to yourself. For those of you on Twitch, I'd love for you to hang on because I'm going to go and send you to another channel. I'm going to initiate a raid in a moment. So let's figure out who that's going to be. Let's raid over into someone. Let's go and find someone interesting. Ah, Chris Hangry, he's a good guy. He has a huge Discord full of people and he goes through their channel, goes through the Discord and they talk about the food they're going to eat this week. He's also a prep chef. He's really, really cool. So again, those of you on YouTube, thank you very much and good night. Consider popping over onto Twitch for even more fun. But in the meantime, I'm going to raid over into another channel. So thank you very much for watching. The rest of this is all available there. Yes, been good to see you too, Adam. Take care and I will see you all very soon.